Yeah, you ever watch something and just get completely dumbfounded, speechless at it?
While art and the motivations and reasons behind the art can be examined, interpreted, picked apart, critiqued, and defined, art is often personal on a level that cannot be defined. It can only be felt. The artist decides what to create based on whatever their inspiration is and what method and medium they choose. And ultimately, each individual person that views that creation decides what it means to them. Art is used to communicate on so many levels, to express beauty, power, good and evil on a cultural level. Art is used as a way for people who don't speak the same language or have other obstacles with speaking to communicate.
I think I've always been around creativity because my father was a mask maker, wire bender, steel pan maker. So I've always been around art. My sister is an artist, not full-time, but she does it as a hobby. And my two brothers, they could play the steel pan. So I've always been around art in some type of form. And I've always had the idea to be self-employed, be an entrepreneur. And I got into modeling when I was in my early 20s. And then modeling kind of led me into a like for makeup, and then it became, well, my job.
It was not something I was actually interested in. It was, this happened just like that. The reason being, this year, 2014, I started, I just do something, trial and error, and it became very, very, very successful to the fact that, my friends and family inspired me to, take it a step further, which I am currently doing now. I think once you have a passion for something, it comes naturally.
I'd never wanted to become a tattoo artist. I got into tattoos because I was there. I played music before. I used to tour a lot with a band. I'm a drummer. And at a point in time, we had a replacement guitarist named Joel Beezer. Joel was a local tattoo artist. He used to freelance and work from a shop. And he became our rhythm guitarist, like replacement rhythm guitarist. I'd be sketching and painting while on the road. And he turned and say, "Yeah, you're doing all that on canvas and I bet you can't do it on skin." And that hurt me. I decided from that day that I would gather up equipment, good equipment enough that I was able to do one spectacular tattoo, and then I'd sell off the equipment. And I just end up liking tattoos and stick with it.
I've basically been doing makeup professionally for about 7 years. I trained at Sasha locally. I trained more under makeup artists, learning their styles. I worked with Giselle Moore, and I trained under Arlene King.
I've definitely made claims to be the best I could personally be at the point in time. The main point in myself is to showcase a certain amount of dignity in each piece, a certain amount of camaraderie, because it is a collaboration between you and the client, and allow me the opportunity to touch them physically and, I suppose, metaphorically touch them at that point in time. That's what it's about, is that almost, it's synergy and at the same time friction.
Two of my uncles does it as a job, as that's their livelihood. And, just being in the shop with them and stuff like that, it became very easy for me to easily adapt. Best being around it. It was very, very easy for me to catch on.
I'm a fan of subjects not meaning that much. What matters is the happenstance there, how you come to be seen.
The need to create is what drives these artists. The reason for the need varies day to day. A need to release emotion, communicate, connect, sometimes even just to feel. Art is something they have always been drawn to, even as young children.
After learning the basics of how to apply foundation and powder, you get to experiment. And right now I have friends that I learn from that are in the fraternity, so if something new comes up, I can learn from them. You know, we show each other tricks, and then now there's the internet, so there's nothing happening in makeup that you won't know about because you have access to YouTube and trends online of what's new in makeup in terms of products, what styles, what looks, what colors.
I like to do more painterly stuff, I suppose, because that will tie in with an next passion of mine, and that'll be interesting. I'd like to be able to do a painting and have somebody take that painting and on the skin. That'll be awesome.
This year I'm now into the carnival. In the carnival, which is the Monday, which you see probably are doing here now. So basically those are more in our signature is my short pants, where a lot of people tend to go crazy over. And the females, dresses, gowns, you know, I try to not limit myself. I sit down how I feel at the point in time. I just go on the machine and I start doing something, and it always happens to be a masterpiece. Someone always falls in love with it. The pants, I firstly started wearing it, and you know, that's a bit different because I'm not a person who into the same thing that everybody else have on, so I try to do things differently.
I always aspire to do things outside of the job, things that I like, that fulfill me. So one of those things would be the makeup. And then within the last year, I acquired an accessory store. I saw this brand of makeup that I had liked. So I emailed the company, they put me onto somebody, and then just like that, I became a retailer. So aside from actually doing makeup, I sell it.
I started doing it and going to parties and stuff like that. People like, oh, they're so in love with the pants and whatever, whatever. And then I never took it on. I was like, okay, thank you so much, just thinking as a compliment. But then this client came up to me in a party, a carnival party. And then it was like, they want to get 10 pieces by next weekend because they're going out of the country. So I was like, I don't do for people. He was like, well, I'm telling you I want 10 pieces. And when I gave him his 10 pieces, before he left from collecting, he told me I should start making money about it. So I was like, okay, whatever, I brush him off. And then my mom told me, she was like, Neil, I will invest in you if it is that, you know, you want to do this. And I was like, okay, let's give it a shot. And that is where everything started.
I never taught makeup to anyone, but this opportunity came up for them to get a teacher, and if my clients come, I'll give them tips on how to do this and that. And at the end of it, they would have a basic understanding of how to do their own face, because courses teach you basic techniques. With regards to makeup, I think that it is your personality comes out when you're doing makeup, because a lot of times you would never see two makeup artists work looking the same.
Tattoos now or paintings, the value is what you place on it. The value is what you place on it. But just like there's Prada and Versace, there's Rattans. You know? So then we have all. In Trinidad we have all.
Following the words of artist Henry Ward Beecher, every artist dips his brush in his own soul and paints his own nature into his pictures.
Well, I work with Cherise on a daily basis. Actually, she's the person that keeps us going, right? Because our job is a little bit stressful. Very down to earth, very loving, very, very carefree, energetic, full of life. I could be feeling down, could always count on her to make me feel good and look good as well. Well, the first time that she did makeup for me, we actually had a function at work, and so I wanted to look different, and I really did look different because I don't wear a lot of makeup, especially to go to work. And so when people actually saw me, it was like they couldn't believe that I could transform like that. Because I don't know my head from my foot when it comes to doing makeup, so she would give little pointers as to what I should do, what suits my complexion, you know, how to blend, especially in terms of what I wear, you know, how to put everything together.
My piece is more Caribbean flavor, more something you could wear in the tropics and stuff like that. So it's more something local, but I aspire, or I look at the work like people like Dolce & Gabbana, I think, you know, from their history, where they come from, to where they're at now, that is what inspired me. From where one could be to where what one could achieve.
I met Neil at an event we had, and he showcased some of his designs, which I found was very elegant and classy. He's a very ambitious young upcoming designer. We briefly spoke about introducing his line at our boutique, Terminal 4, and so far the Monday wear that I saw was very exquisite. It's very classy yet sexy for Monday wear. He wants to have a launch at the store and invite a lot of people, all his friends and whoever, you know, is interested in getting the local line at a boutique, because it's hard to get local designer clothing from the designers themselves. He has a lot of potential because of his aura and what he is passionate about his job, what he does. He loves exquisite, you know, classy things, and most of the Monday wear, it's a little what you see every day. It's like copying designs.
I'm giving myself by 2015 to have my designs in 2 countries or 3 Caribbean countries by next year. I'm planning on different trips to meet with different boutiques among, you know, Barbados, St. Lucia, all of Caribbean countries, to have my pieces showcased in their stores. So, you know, I think for my designs, the sky is the limit, and, you know, even though opportunity may not come my way, I'm going to make opportunities happen for me. You know, I'm going to knock on every door possible that, you know, where could my work or my art or my craft be showcased.
So be a grumpy dude and get into tattoos. If you're that kind of person, then you know to yourself you're that kind of person. You may artistically be wonderful at tattooing, but you'd be a dick and you'd get no work. It's hard to tattoo in Trinidad, you know. A, there's no room for error. B, you're tattooing a rubbery moving surface with a 5-pound brick, right? C, there's a time limit to these things because there's a pain threshold that you have to deal with. D, your skin not always accepting, so you know it have people black like tar that want to see yellow in the tattoo. That and more is what you have to be constantly swimming through. It's an obstacle course each and every client that you get. And the way that I do it is I cannot cut corners to get what I want out of it. So I can't say, all right, well, I'll hurry this up here and get to the other part. No, I have to do it with a certain technique.
I have a lot of respect for Obasi because even though I'm doing tattoos for 20 years, he's only been doing it for, say, 6 or 7 years. And when I met him, the level that he was at, I was really impressed, because you don't see somebody with that understanding of skin off the bat so quickly, right? People have to go on courses, have to do physio and understand body, and also understand inking, right, before they actually get involved in doing tattoos. She's a prodigy from that point of view. The tattoo that Obasi really impressed me with is the roses on the left arm. And when I saw what he could do with color, it really impressed me. His color work is impeccable, and his understanding of how to push that needle, right? He's got the fades like how I would airbrush. You know, he's the tattoo artists go by to get tattooed.
I think I want to achieve what every single man wants to achieve, you know. And by man, I don't mean male. I mean like human on the whole. Everybody wants to be remembered. That's about it. Everybody, really and truly, at the base of all your desires is remembrance. you know, indelible mark. I say I ain't curing cancer or anything like that. I ain't gonna remember it for that. But there's gonna be a lot of people walking around with a part of me on the skin. Hopefully they'll have a part of me hanging in the living room, and I'll be known as a guy that did what he wanted and did what he believed in, and hopefully my children could feel a sense of pride in that. You know, they could look and say, well, you know, that was my daddy, and feel proud. You know what I mean? Daddy was nobody's fool.
What has happened is, in unbelievable ways, doors has just started open for you when you kind of know where you want to go, where you want to end up, where you want to be in life, right? So doors open up without you even knocking. So each thing kind of branch off from the last thing. It's not anything that's totally separate from each other. Makeup ties into accessories, ties into fashion, all of that I'm involved in because of what I do at the store. All right, the people that I interact with, network with, they are hairdressers here, so if they bring somebody in to do their hair, they will say, come and take a look at the accessories, and then we might do a photo shoot just for the clothing store, and then my accessories might be featured, so it's all tied in together. Sometimes I might have to do the makeup for the model that doing the photo shoot.
For any person who want to become a fashion designer or want to become anything with regards to creative arts, I say have a passion for it. Don't do it just for the money. The money will come after all. You know, sometimes people go into something just for the money and, you know, for the to be in the limelight and stuff like that. That's not what it's about. If you're starting like that, you're starting off wrong. You have to have a real deep burning desire or deep burning passion to want it. To want to do something like this, because it's a very, very time-consuming job, and you can want to give up very, very easily. Many times I wanted to give up, and I was like, this is not what I started. So why start something and not finish it completely? So anybody coming up, work hard, dedicate yourself, dedicate your time, dedicate your life to your job.
I know I like makeup, I know I like fashion, so I did things associated with that. The main thing is find out what you like to do, and once you know what you are passionate about, it sounds corny and cliche, but I'm living proof that you'll have peace of mind doing something that you love. I think naturally I'm just a creative person. I like creative things. I don't like the mundane, I don't like the everyday, get up, go to work for 8, finish 4. I hate it. I don't know if everybody feels that way, but I feel that way. So I've never chosen careers that would limit me like that.
Nobody says, yeah man, I can't wait to go to work. So, screw that man. But regardless, whatever, the best part is knowing that I'm doing something artistic and knowing that somebody leaving that had like nothing there before, or even if they had something, it was covered and it's something fresh and new, and it's usually exciting for them, which is exciting for me. You ever saw Papa Bob? neither me. So I cannot accurately draw the nigger and feel confident in that's Papa Boy. So guess what I have to do? I have to cloud him in smoke, in morning mist. You understand? I have to cloud him in morning mist, meaning you will see a silhouette of something. And I'm confident in my abilities to be able to capture that.